Greetings, fellow seekers of reason and virtue. In the face of life's relentless currents, the turmoil of passions, and the seeming indifference of the cosmos, a fundamental necessity arises: the art of resilience. This is not a mere passive endurance of misfortune, but an active strength, an inner forge that allows us to shape our character and discover unwavering peace, regardless of external circumstances. Today we delve into the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy, a timeless beacon that has guided emperors, slaves, and free individuals through the ages. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus, the philosopher-emperor, bequeathed to us in his Meditations a treasure trove of practical reflections on living a virtuous life and finding tranquility in a world often steeped in chaos. Stop. In this exploration, we will unpack the cornerstones of Stoic resilience, unveiling the tools that empower us to confront adversity with equanimity, cultivate inner fortitude, and flourish even in seemingly barren soil. We seek no easy solutions or illusory escapes, but rather a rigorous yet rewarding path of self-mastery and acceptance of the nature of reality. If you find value in these reflections and wish to join our community of Stoic inquiry, I encourage you to follow this channel. And if this message resonates with your pursuit of inner peace, please click the like button to share this wisdom with others who may benefit. Prepare yourselves to question your own reactions, to scrutinize your beliefs, and to embrace the discipline of rational thought. Our aim is not to become immune to suffering, an impossibility inherent to the human condition, but to transform our relationship with it, learning to discern what lies within our power and to accept with serenity that which does not. May this discourse inspire you to construct an unassailable inner citadel, a sanctuary of peace residing within your own reason and virtue, enabling you to navigate the waves of life with courage, wisdom, and an unwavering resilience. The initial stride in cultivating resilience lies in a clear understanding of the nature of adversity. The world surrounding us is a stage for ceaseless events, many of which lie beyond our direct control. Unexpected illnesses, financial losses, the instability of human relationships, the unpredictability of nature. The catalog of potential sources of suffering is vast and at times overwhelming. Stoic philosophy urges us to a crucial distinction: that which is within our power, our thoughts, judgments, intentions, actions, and that which is not, external events, the opinions of others, the past, the future. The majority of our anguish and suffering stems from our futile attempts to control the uncontrollable, to impose our will upon a reality that follows its own course. We delude ourselves into believing we can mold the world to our liking, that we can foresee and prevent all forms of discomfort. This illusion renders us vulnerable, for when reality inevitably deviates from our expectations, we are seized by resentment, frustration, and a sense of powerlessness. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds us of the ephemerality of all external things, the transient nature of fortune, and the inevitability of change in life. Clinging to material possessions, the approval of others, or the permanence of favorable situations is akin to trying to grasp sand with a clenched fist, a futile endeavor that invariably culminates in disappointment. True freedom and the bedrock of resilience reside in acknowledging the limits of our control and directing our energy towards the mastery of our own inner realm, our mind. We may lack the power to prevent the storm from arriving, but we possess the power to decide how we will react to it, what attitude we will adopt in the face of adversity. This acceptance does not imply passivity or blind resignation. On the contrary, it liberates us from the pointless struggle against the inevitable, allowing us to concentrate our efforts where they can truly make a difference, in our choices and in our response to events. Once we recognize the nature of adversity and the illusion of control, the next crucial step in cultivating resilience is to develop the power of perspective and the art of rational assessment. The way we perceive and interpret external events has a profound impact on our emotions and our ability to confront them. Often we magnify our problems, allowing minor setbacks to transform into catastrophes in our minds. Our hasty judgments, our exaggerated generalizations, and our tendency to focus on the negative obscure reality and intensify our suffering. Stoic philosophy invites us to carefully examine our evaluations, to question our first impressions, and to seek a more objective and balanced perspective. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the importance of analyzing each event into its essential components, stripping it of our emotional interpretations and our pessimistic narratives. When confronted with a loss, for example, we may fixate on what we have lost and drown in lamentation. However, the Stoic perspective would encourage us to consider also what we still possess, the lessons we can learn from the experience, and the inevitability of change in life. Similarly, when faced with criticism, we may feel attacked and become defensive, but a rational assessment would lead us to consider the possible validity of the criticism, the opportunity for growth it may offer, and the irrelevance of the opinion of those who lack virtue or wisdom. The practice of the view from above, contemplating our problems from a cosmic perspective, can help us to relativize their importance and recognize the insignificance of many of our personal dramas in the face of the vastness of the universe and the eternity of time. Marcus Aurelius urges us to remember the brevity of life, the transience of fame, and the futility of seeking the approval of a fickle multitude. By adopting a broader perspective, we can free ourselves from the tyranny of immediate concerns and focus on what truly matters, the virtue and integrity of our character. The art of Stoic assessment also involves the practice of gratitude for the good things we still possess, even amidst adversity. Focusing on what we have rather than lamenting what we have lost strengthens our resilience and helps us to maintain a positive attitude towards life. For the Stoics, the true source of resilience lies not in external factors, but in the solidity of our character, in the cultivation of virtue. The cardinal virtues of practical wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance are the pillars upon which we build an unassailable inner fortress. Practical wisdom empowers us to discern good from evil, to make rational decisions, and to act with prudence in the face of circumstances. It helps us to avoid hasty judgments, to consider the consequences of our actions, and to find the virtuous path, even in complex situations. Justice guides us to treat others with fairness, respect, and benevolence. It reminds us of our interconnectedness as human beings and the importance of contributing to the common good. A just person finds strength in their clear conscience and moral integrity, making them less vulnerable to envy, resentment, and manipulation. Courage is not limited to the absence of fear, but rather the ability to act according to reason and virtue, even in the face of danger or difficulty. It propels us to confront challenges with determination, to persevere through obstacles, and to defend what is right, even if it entails personal sacrifice. Temperance teaches us self-mastery, moderation, and balance in all areas of life. It helps us to control our desires and passions, to avoid excesses, and to find serenity in discipline. A temperate person is not a slave to their impulses and is therefore less susceptible to frustration and suffering caused by the incessant pursuit of fleeting pleasures. By cultivating these virtues in our lives, we build a solid foundation of resilience that cannot be shaken by external vicissitudes. Our inner peace does not depend on the approval of others, the possession of material goods, or the absence of problems, but on our own moral integrity and our adherence to the principles of reason and virtue. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the only true possession we have is our character. Everything else is transient and can be taken from us at any moment. Investing in the development of our virtues is therefore the safest and most lasting investment we can make in our own resilience and well-being. One of the most profound and, for many, challenging teachings of Stoic philosophy is the practice of acceptance and the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. This does not imply a passive resignation in the face of suffering, but rather a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all events and an acceptance of the nature of reality as it is. The Stoics believed that the universe is governed by a cosmic reason, a divine logos that orchestrates all events according to a wise and benevolent plan, even if its logic is not always apparent to us. Resisting this natural flow, lamenting what has happened, or wishing things were different is a source of unnecessary suffering. Marcus Aurelius urges us to accept what we cannot change with equanimity, recognizing that every event, even the most painful, has its place in the great tapestry of existence. This acceptance does not mean approval or complacency, but rather a surrender to the inevitable and a focus on what we can control, our attitude towards the facts. Amor fati goes beyond mere acceptance. It implies a deep appreciation for everything that happens, including difficulties and challenges. It was believed that it is trials that mold our character, that strengthen us, and that allow us to develop our virtues. Without adversity, our potential for resilience would remain latent. To love our fate means to recognize that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, contributes to our growth and to the fulfillment of our purpose in life. It is to embrace the totality of our journey, with its joys and its sorrows, its successes and its failures, as a meaningful and necessary whole. This perspective frees us from the pursuit of a perfect and suffering-free life, an illusory quest that inevitably leads to frustration. Instead, we learn to find beauty and meaning in every moment, to extract valuable lessons from every experience, and to strengthen our resilience through the acceptance of reality. The foundation of Stoic resilience lies in the constant discipline of the mind, in our ability to control our thoughts, judgments, and emotions. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds us of the importance of guarding our thoughts, for they shape our perception of reality and influence our actions. Often we are victims of our own negative thoughts, our unfounded worries, and our obsessive ruminations. These self-destructive mental patterns undermine our inner peace and make us more vulnerable to stress and anxiety. Stoic philosophy offers us practical tools to cultivate mental discipline, the primary one being the practice of mindfulness. This involves deliberately bringing our attention to the present moment without judgment, observing our thoughts and emotions as they arise and pass away. By practicing mindfulness, we become more aware of our habitual thought patterns and gain the ability to disidentify from them. We realize that we are not our thoughts, but rather the consciousness that observes them. This distance allows us to question the validity of our negative thoughts and choose more rational and virtuous responses. Marcus Aurelius urges us to live each day as if it were our last, to focus on the tasks at hand, and to avoid the distraction of the mind in worries about the past or the future. The present moment is the only one we truly possess, and where our power of choice resides. Mental discipline also involves the practice of rational inner dialogue, questioning our irrational beliefs and replacing them with more logical and constructive thoughts. We can ask ourselves, is this worry truly justified? What is the worst that can happen? How would a virtuous person handle this situation? By cultivating the discipline of the mind and the practice of mindfulness, we strengthen our ability to maintain serenity amidst chaos, to respond to adversity with clarity and reason, and to protect our inner peace from external influences. Friends, the art of resilience as taught by Stoic philosophy and the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous journey of self-mastery and self-transformation. It demands constant vigilance, mental discipline, and an unwavering commitment to the principles of reason and virtue. In a world that often seems indifferent to our suffering, true strength is not found in avoiding adversity. an impossible task, but in cultivating the inner capacity to face it with equanimity and integrity. Remember the distinction between what is within your control and what is not. Direct your energy towards the mastery of your thoughts and actions, and accept with serenity the natural flow of external events. Cultivate the power of perspective, examine your judgments, and relativize the importance of your problems in the face of the vastness of existence. Build your resilience upon the pillars of virtue, seeking practical wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance in all areas of your lives. Embrace the practice of acceptance and the love of fate, recognizing the interconnectedness of all events and finding meaning and growth even in difficulties. Discipline your minds, practice mindfulness, and protect your inner peace from negative influences. If these reflections have resonated with you on your own path towards resilience, I once again encourage you to follow this channel for more insights into Stoic wisdom. And if you found this discourse valuable, please click the like button to share it with others who may be seeking inner strength. As you tread this rigorous yet rewarding path, you will discover an unassailable inner citadel, a sanctuary of peace residing within your own reason and virtue, enabling you to navigate the waves of life with courage, wisdom, and a resilience that flourishes amidst the indifference of the world. May Stoic wisdom be your guide and inner peace your constant companion.